your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy walk.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt it will stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Hello, friends. Hello, welcome. Sorry for starting late. Sorry for being tardy. Apologies. Oh God, this fucking megaphone. I can't even get it to work. Hello. Yes, welcome. Hi. Sorry for starting late. I started in CP time. I had to get myself together. I'm gonna go over, without further ado, I'm gonna go over this Pearl video where she's talking smack about me. But a quick recap, because a lot of you guys, I see a lot of you guys are like, Chrissie, why don't keep talking about Pearl? Just ignore her and she'll go away. You know, just like an STD. But you know what? Similar to an STD, if you ignore it, it won't go away. So, and let me have one day. I can have one day of responding. And for those of you who don't know how or where this started, let's take a jog down memory lane. I take you to, my God, what was this, last year? This was like last year. I had Pearl on my channel. We used to be besties. I've always wanted to be cool with Pearl, but she just refuses. So this is a year ago. 8,500 views, not too shabby. Had her on. Look at cute little fresh-faced Pearl here, and look at pre-pregnancy me with my hair dyed. This was us. We had a gay old time. And that was like a year ago. And then how did the triggering happen? It really just happened from Frank saying that that he wanted to pray for her. I'm just doing a quick recap for those of you that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. This was 2 days ago. Pearl says, why do so many conservative women think it's their place to tell their husband when he is and is not following God? Blows my mind. Conservative women are so out of order. Frank, my beloved husband, writes, my wife and I have conversations about helping each other live our best lives with and through God. I hope and pray that you will have that someday. Finding a partner who has your back and wants to join you in heaven someday, which is like the nicest, most lovely thing you could wish for another person. Again, he is not saying he is conservative and traditional. He is not saying I am conservative and traditional. He's just saying this is what we do, and it's really our job to call each other out when we're not following God, because that's part of the vows we took when we got married. And Pearl responds very savagely, viciously, brings me into it. He's not talking about me. There's no reason to bring me into this at all. But Pearl, who is full of vitriol, very triggered by what he said, triggered by somebody praying for her, triggered by somebody saying, I hope you find a partner. Yikes. Your wife is an overweight 40-year-old who chose you after 15 plus years of God knows what. No one wants what you have. If you ever leave her good graces, her army of friends will treat you the same way they treat me. Yikes. This is just a very insecure response by Pearl. Again, I gave birth like the other fucking day. You know what I mean? 6 weeks ago yesterday, if you want to be exact. Like, I haven't even had a haircut since then. I think I have milk. I think I'm leaking through this shirt. If in a year I still look like this, sure, go ahead and call me fat. But Not after directly after I've given birth. Not necessarily fair to call somebody overweight when they're not even cleared to exercise yet from their doctor. 15 plus years of and this is the thing, Pearl is so lazy. She doesn't even do the work to know to try it. Like before she takes shots at somebody, she doesn't even bother researching. If she did, she would know. Frank and I have been together 10 years. Prior to that, very serious boyfriend. Prior to that, another serious boyfriend. Maybe she's confusing the fact I've been doing stand up for 13 years. I don't know, but she's very lazy in terms of research. I don't think she cares to research because she wants to make the points she wants to make, and she's not going to let a little something called the truth stand in her way of making the points she wants to make. So Frank responds, how did you get so triggered when I literally said I would pray that you find a partner in life? Incredible, really. Maybe show a bit of humility for once and people won't keep making fun of you. The other thing she's extremely threatened by is the friends and supporters, fans, whatever you want to call them. I call them friends that I have online that come to my defense anytime some jackass like yourself takes a shot at me. I don't know. Maybe Pearl, if you were vulnerable and honest with people, you also would have an army of people online that will come to your defense when assholes try to mess with you. I don't know. Try it out. Give it a whirl. Pearl goes, not triggered at all, actually. You said live how my wife and I live. No one wants what you have. At no point did Frank say live how we live. This is what she does. She puts words in people's mouths. She gaslights just to make her point. It doesn't matter what he said. She will say, this is what you said. And she does it to make whatever point she wants to make. It's irrelevant of who she's talking to. And he said, you asked why conservative women want their husbands to live through God. I commented with an example. What the fuck is wrong with you? We're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, and I don't like liars. What do you conservative women get married 22, not 40. I didn't get married at 40. Play pretend at home, but stay out of my comment section with that bullshit. Oh my God, she's trying to sound so tough. She's so lazy. Neither of us are conservative or traditional. Neither me nor Frank. What is conservative and traditional about pursuing stand-up comedy? I mean, that alone should tell you that I'm not what you're saying I am. Who is lying? Lol. And about what? You're really coping hard and deflecting, and it's bizarre. You asked a question and now you're crying because I gave you an honest example. Normally, Pearl respects and reveres men. I guess not in this case. I guess you have to be an overweight black guy for Pearl to respect your opinion. Maybe she's not as so much a fan of the whites. Okay. Oh my God. To what do I owe this honor? Quartering in the chat. So she just so she I'm retarded. So she herself just admitted she isn't a conservative woman. Right. None of the people involved in this are conservative women. I'm not, she's not. So why are we pulling me into this? Because Frank said something that really triggered the fuck out of her and she can't handle it. Let's play the drop. Thank you, Quartering. Oh, I forgot to send a link to Haley. I was going to see if Haley wanted to jump on. And Quartering, I'm sure you're busy. I'll send you the link as well in case you want to jump on. Okay, sending links. This will probably just be quick. A quick little recap. Haley, Kennington. We were talking before. It's just so funny. I've done a couple of streams in the last few days. Jump on. Dun, 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 dun. I've done a couple streams in the last few days, and it's amazing to me how many people have said to me privately, I fucking can't stand Pearl. She's the worst, but I don't want to say anything publicly because I don't want to help her algorithm. Oh my God, 2 from the Quartering. Quartering earlier said, Pearl is that can of clam chowder. that everyone donates to the food pantry because it's expired. She does sort of have the overall aesthetic of clam chowder. That's correct, Quartering. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah. I mean, is Pearl admitted she isn't a conservative woman. I think even 5 minutes of research would tell you that I'm not a conservative woman. I mean, like, fuck, I do stand up. Oh, great US treasure hunt. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. So here's where all this beef originated from, is Frank triggering her 2 days ago on Twitter. And typically the people that are triggered by folks saying they're going to pray for them are the ones that are a little bit like intimidated or have had a bad experience with religion. You really shouldn't be triggered by someone saying they're going to pray for you. That's somebody being like, yeah, I wish you the best. I hope you get well soon, etc. Oy vey. And then it's funny because this was me and Pearl. Let's rewind it back. This was me and Pearl like, what, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Look how cute she looked. And like, so maybe Pearl is sick because look at her now. Look at what she looks like now. She does not look well. And I just kind of noticed this. I'm like, maybe this is part of why her attitude is so bad. Like she's not doing so hot. She looks a bit strung out, sweaty. She looks like maybe she's been crying. I'm not sure, but a drastic difference than just a year or two ago when she was on my show. Me, I get a pass. I just pushed a life out of me not 6 weeks ago. Bitterness does rot the soul. That is what happens. All right. K-Max, thank you, darling. Chrissy, how many feuds have you ever had before with a fellow streamer? I can only think of 1 or 2. You don't start feuds with people generally. Correct, K-Max. Thank you for paying attention. No. It's like the Proud Boys say. We don't start fights, we finish them. Who have I had a feud with? I don't know if you want to feud so much as I spent a few weeks calling out Eliza Blue. I wouldn't really consider that was that feud. It wasn't really like a back and forth. I sort of came to the defense of Brittany Venti when she and Martina Marcotta were in a feud, and then Martina sort of started coming after me. So this is really what happens. I kind of get somebody's back, or I'm associated with somebody, and then I get involved in said feud. But thank you, K-Max. Oh, hello, Celine. Thank you for the super chat. Pearl is a tall woman. There are attractive tall women, but Pearl never really knew how to grace her height well, so her gait and demeanor's off-putting. Yeah, it's tough to be tall. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm short as fuck. I'm 5'3". So, but you know what? There's plenty of tall men out there. I don't know. I think all the tall women should get with the short men because they're the ones that seem to feel like they're being left out. But yeah, I'm sure she can buy a comfortable pair of flats. And again, nobody's perfect. We've all got our hangups, physical, inside, outside, emotional, spiritual. It's our job to heal ourselves. And Pearl's just decided to turn hers into a brand. Oh, I am short. Right, that's true. Models are tall and models are crushing it. Yeah. Anyway. Pearl doesn't look good, and she's being, she's being very scandalous here in her tank top, exposing her arms, shoulders, décolletage, neck, face. Not very conservative. She should be wearing a cardigan. She's dressed like a hussy right now. Anyway, so so I'm jumping around too much. So after Frank triggered her on Twitter 2 days ago, she did a little video. Let's see. Oh, here's what she tweeted out. She's very upset that I am married, that Frank and I got married and had a baby and are happy, and it's really none of her business, but she loves to talk about it for some reason. So she's saying she's decided that It's very clever to call someone who has a kid after 25 a buzzer beater baby. I don't know.
So what I am tired of is conservatives putting their personal relationships as what we should aspire to.
No one's doing that, by the way.
So many times Christian content creators have been married.
Christian content creators, again, like, that's not me. That's not Frank. I can only think of maybe a few people who I would call Christian content creators. Allie Beth Stuckey, maybe Elijah Schaefer. Who do we really know that's a Christian content creator?
5 minutes. They haven't even made it to the 7-year itch. And yet they want to lecture us on how to be married.
So you can't talk about being married unless you've been married for 7 years. What an odd goalpost. What an odd unit of time. Frank and I have been together 10 years. I can't talk about what it's like to be with somebody for 10 years. No, you have to be married. This is bullshit. She's just moving the goalpost so that she can be right.
They want us to aspire to their relationships. So it was really interesting because I tweeted, why do so many conservative women think it's their place to tell their husband when he is and is not following God? So what I often see is women want to weaponize the Bible to control their husband. So there's a verse in the Bible that says women should only submit to their husband when he follows God. There's also another verse that says obey him in all things, but women tend to forget that one. So
I don't know what that has to do with the exchange on Twitter, but let's see if she has a point to make.
Tends to lead to is the women thinking it's their place to lecture their husbands on when they're following God. To put this in perspective, women have no problem taking orders from their boss. Even if your boss gives you an order that maybe
oh my God, hold the phone.
Disagree with,
this is my prayers have been answered. Oh my God, someone has answered my bat call. So hold the presses. Haley Kennington is here.
Hello, how are you?
God,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for answering my very extremely last minute call. I appreciate this a lot.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to come on. I didn't even mean to get involved in it, period. I wouldn't say I'm involved in it, but I watched her video last night. I was watching it this morning. I listened to it in the shower. And every sentence, I was like, does she hear herself? Like, what is going on? And I didn't even know, further on in her video, she starts talking about you and Frank. And I'm like, my God, please stop. So here we are.
Wild. And this is a really good point that Frank brings up just in the little Twitter video I was just watching. She is nervous talking about this. Listen to her breath and her heart rate is pounding. That is a really good point. Let me share the screen again. She is not comfortable. She is not at ease talking here. She's all like chest breathing.
I think it's the wrong direction. You still got to do it. But women don't even have that basic respect for their husbands. It's so crazy.
I've also noticed this about Pearl. She cannot. This is why I figured out she cannot do an off-the-cuff podcast interview. She's got to have. She's reading something in this little video. She's reading something in the video that we'll watch next. She always has to have her notes on her because I don't think she actually knows how she feels. She doesn't even know what her own opinions are, or everything is just written out for her. Her producers, her writers hand her a script and go, okay, go. So it's hard to know what is actually how she feels, what has she written out, what has somebody else completely written out for her. Because you'll remember, I think the interview she did with Michael Knowles, they had to actually basically stop it, and somebody off camera was like feeding Pearl lines.
Wasn't it the one with Ethan that she was texting like her, I don't know if it was her producer or what, but for stats, and he would ask her a question she wasn't expecting. She'd be like,
help.
It's like, yeah, she has to be fed lines and fed her beliefs. She's just so phony, man.
Which that would make me anxious if I had no fucking clue what I was saying most of the time and I had to wait for somebody else to feed me a line. No wonder she has all this anxiety.
Crazy. So This simp responds to me. And
she says simp. She calls everyone a simp. She calls anybody standing up for anybody. Anyone who disagrees with her, who's a man, is a simp. Because here's the thing: is her whole shtick is like, oh, you have to respect men. You have to let the men talk. Unless you disagree with her, well, then you're a simp. Because she's gotta lower your value by calling you a simp. Because if she just says, hey, you're a man, well, then she's contradicting herself, because she then would have to listen and revere and respect that person.
Yeah, but that's the problem. She doesn't even have respect for herself. She can't go and respect anyone else. She doesn't know how she feels about anything. And, and knowing that all of her lines, you think that she's done this long enough that she would at least have a pretty good idea of the things, all her different lines, all her talking points that she should have. But because she's so insecure and she doesn't know who she is as a person, she's in a position where she can't judge anyone else by any means. But it's honestly, I kind of pity her, to be quite honest.
I do too. I really do. And not just because of this shirt that she's wearing.
It's pretty bad.
My grandma had a pair of underpants that looked like this shirt. Yeah, I pity her too, because we on Simcast on Sunday watched a video of her mom talking about, I think like Pearl is one of 7 children, and the mom, who is gorgeous, doesn't look older than 50, is going through naming all her children and kind of listing a couple of their accomplishments. And then when she gets to Pearl, she's like, oh, Hannah, she lives in London. And at that moment I was like, oh my God, she has issues from her mom. She, who knows, maybe also her dad too, but definitely her mom. And she feels unworthy of love, maybe some middle child syndrome mixed in there. So
yeah, well, and she's put her mother down on more than one occasion, from what I would consider being, putting your mother down. She doesn't hold her in a, high regard. She's sort of an afterthought to, they, like, her parents have a business that they ran, and she was I don't guess she would be CEO, but she ran the company. And it's one of these things where she doesn't give her credit for that. Yeah, but she won't give her credit for that. She's like, oh yeah, I mean, she was, part of it, but
maybe Pearl didn't get enough love from her mom growing up, and she always resented her because she was like a boss lady. She was in charge. So maybe this is why she's upset with women who want to work. I don't know.
Could be.
We'll scoot through this.
And again, he's putting his relationship at the forefront.
No, he's just literally, he's not saying this is the way to live. This is the best way to live. He just said, this is what I do.
My wife and I have conversations about helping each other live our best lives with and through God. I hope and pray that you will one day find a partner who has your back and wants to join you in heaven someday. So we all know what this means. We all know.
She does this all the time. She says, we all know, when it's really just what she thinks.
One, when conservatives tell you to go to, that they're going to pray for you, it's just a passive aggressive way of saying to go fuck yourself. And so if you're coming to my comments.
Yeah, again, Frank is not conservative. Do even 5 minutes of research on him or myself. And we don't call ourselves conservatives. But this is what she does. She doesn't do very much research, or her producers don't do very much research. Maybe she just is handed a script. It's hard to tell. But she'll just use whoever is interacting with her. She'll call you a conservative or a tradcon. And she'll be like, well, see, I made my argument. Like, it doesn't matter who you are or what you say. Whoever she interacts with is just part of her argument.
Well, it's also interesting that she sort of clustered. It's like that's her enemy. That's her target. So even if you're, if you're in that realm at all, even if you're not a conservative or you don't, feel like you apply to that category, you do to her. So she automatically lumps you in, and you just have this umbrella title.
She might just be very confused. Like, maybe she just doesn't have the mental capacity. Like, if you're not a leftist, she doesn't know what to call you. She can't think of, maybe she doesn't know what libertarians are. Maybe she doesn't know what just calling somebody a right winger would probably be more accurate. But again, like, maybe she just simply doesn't know what to call someone who's not a left winger. So she'll just say, oh, you're a tradcon.
Section. I have to live in reality. And if you're going to put your relationship as the thing we should aspire to, I'm going to comment on if I think we should aspire to it. So I point out This man is having a child by a woman who's 40 years old.
Except not, though.
These tend to be buzzer beater pregnancies. That is what they tend to be.
What does that even mean? A buzzer beater pregnancy? Guess who decides when or if you get pregnant? God. Okay. So like if you're in good enough shape and fertile enough to get pregnant, stay pregnant, have a kid, well then it kind of doesn't really matter what age you are, because if you're not fit for it, then it's not going to happen.
Yeah, my kids
And
are 12 years apart. You know, I had one at 22 and then one just a few years ago. So it's like,
yeah.
you know, it's God's decision when you're blessed with a child. But there's just so many more deeper things going on with Pearl. You know, all of these little microaggressions that she's throwing out. I don't know if her clock is ticking and it's starting to really mess with her because she's not settling down. So she, projects that onto other people or what. But I don't understand how someone who knows so little about so many things can come out and present themselves as an expert on so many topics that she has either no expertise whatsoever in, or simply don't, won't sit down and do the research on to know enough about the topic to discuss it. Pulling up these stats that either no one can find or they're from several years ago. I mean, stats are kind of difficult to judge anyway, depending on how the numbers laid out with the tests. But yeah, it's just interesting, to see.
She's very confident for someone who shouldn't be that confident. Yeah.
Exactly.
Women pick the men that they want when we're in our youth.
No, not true at all. My God, people die. People get divorced. I mean, there's so much that happens. People break up. You grow so much. I am so grateful that I didn't end up with somebody that I was dating in my 20s. You change so much during your 20s. You're basically kind of like a kid still mentally.
Do you know how I've always looked at it, Christy? It's like those were trial runs to make you the woman that you need to be for the husband that you're going to marry. Like he has his little trial runs and learns through the process. And then by the time it's right for both of you and you're together, you've grown and you've learned from right and wrong and, bad experiences and good experiences. And you know how to treat a husband the way he needs to be treated. And you wouldn't have been there early on, to your point.
No, my God. Really? Would that be better, Pearl, if I'm running around New York City doing open mics, but with a baby on the side? Yeah, I gotta hit these 5 mics, and then go to Brooklyn, and then take the train back, and then go home to my parents.
No, but look how much you've changed since then, right, Chrissy? Like, look how, you are a totally different person today. Like, yes, you probably have some of the same morals and beliefs and things like that, but you're a totally different person than you were in your early 20s. You would not, maybe it would have worked out with Frank if you guys had met way back when,
Oh, yeah. I believe everything happens for a reason. You go through what you go through to be I needed to go through all that shit so that I could be the right person for Frank, and he had to go through what he had to go through to be the right person for me. And it's really interesting. And I remember being in my 20s, thinking about kids, but always coming back to yeah, I don't have enough money. That's why I was always very careful. I have never had an abortion. I've never even really had a scare.
Yeah.
I think I remember at the moment I was with an ex-boyfriend and I said, I think I'm late. And he put his foot on the brakes, braked the car so hard. What? And then that, those moments kind of tell you everything you need to know about somebody. And what I would tell my younger self is yeah, just don't waste time dating anybody you wouldn't have a kid with. But I would say that I was extremely responsible in not getting knocked up, not having to get an abortion, throughout all my 20s.
Yeah,
same. As a single person. I mean, but I had mostly long-term serious boyfriends. So, okay.
At least our 20s. And if a woman in her 30s finds the man that she wants, she is dying to have his kid. She wants to have his kid, not any kid.
She talks about she talks for everybody. It's so not true. I met Frank and I think I was maybe 30, and I don't think I wanted to have kids at first. I was really I didn't think I wanted to get married or have kids when I met him. So
I mean, to
things
be honest, I didn't ever want to have kids, and now I've got 2 of my own and 3 stepchildren. So, there you go. And I love my babies, but for me as a young adult in my 20s, I just wasn't. I'm not really a kid person, or at least I wasn't back then. To where it just, yeah, if it happened, okay, further down the road or whatever, but it wasn't ever part of my plan. So when I was surprised, twice at the age I'm at now, but the 2 times I was surprised with it, I looked at it like a real blessing, and that it was not my plan, that God knew when it was right for me to have this child. So I wasn't
Yeah.
looking for a mate for that reason. I was trying to avoid that really at all costs.
Oh, yeah, and, like, I'm so glad things happened when they did, because now it makes sense. It happened so easily, so naturally. Like, we got married in June and we were pregnant in July. Like, that was clearly the right timing, instead of, you know, clearly, like, things happen when they're supposed to happen.
It's
I'm gonna blow
beautiful.
it's so beautiful. I'm gonna
It
blow
is
through.
beautiful.
And
How
what I keep
sweet.
finding is these men that have no idea their wives. Really, you're not her first choice. She wouldn't have picked you at 22. And
What does that even mean? At 22, we didn't know each other at 22. Like, what kind of an example is this? Who was Pearl with
Hers.
at 22?
Right.
Yeah. At 22. What was I doing at 22? I had braces still, and I was working as a tour guide at Radio City Music Hall, wearing a 3-piece polyester suit. And I remember I ate sushi for the first time at 22, and the other tour guides I was eating sushi with, like, they didn't tell me. Like, I actually literally, like, put the plastic grass part in my mouth and started chewing it, because I thought that was part of eating sushi. They're like, "No, no, you don't eat that part. What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You're still wet behind the ears. It's not I mean, if you're one of those that meets your the love of your life in high school, and things work out, that's great too. I think that's wonderful. But the majority of people, I think, at 22 are, like you said, chewing on the end of that, like you're still learning about life and figuring out who you are. It's not really, I don't know. I guess for some people it works, and that's sort of what they set out to do early on. But for me, there's no way I was thinking about settling down at 22 and looking for my forever mate. And, nah, not me.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what that sound is. It sounds like the dentist office, like the spit sucker. Haley, is that on your end? Oh, well,
I
okay.
think it is. Yeah, I think it is. It probably just shut off.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me a second. I'll come right back.
Okay. Technical issues. Push-ups, my $2 warrior. Someday I want to see a clam redemption arc. I do too. I am also praying for that. Celine, thank you, darling. If Pearl is against divorce, wouldn't she support older people getting married, since they are more likely to stay until the spouse dies? Very good point. Right. We didn't get married willy-nilly. We knew for sure that we were in it to win it. Joe Mushasi, you can't take these red pillars seriously. No, you can't. You really can't. They're very selfish. Don Danuvox, Pearl can't keep a man for 7 months, let alone 7 years, unless she throws her dad's cash at them. She always looks super grody as well. At least she has her dad's money. I hope that carries her through her adulthood. Celine, I love her mom, Jennifer. Oh, is that her name? Shout out to Jennifer Davis. Celine again. Thank you, darling. Pearl's mom runs a company to empower women business owners. I left a nice comment on her mom's Instagram post, and Jennifer responded so kindly. Really? Maybe I'll have to just befriend her mom. Moms love me. Spectral Citizen. What's up, Spectral? Member for 24 months. Isn't life a learning experience? It's so bad to fault someone for not getting it right at a young age. And this is exactly what she does all the time. And she'll shit on guys, or she'll shit on women who, like, basically, right, you can't get married and then have kids and then break up, because right, that's her point, is women take advantage of the system. It's stupid for men to get married. But she doesn't really shame those guys. She has like pity. She has a heart for these guys that get married and get screwed over, but she doesn't have you know what I mean? She doesn't feel for people who didn't meet the right person, waited, were smart, didn't want to put somebody through a divorce, didn't want to put a kid through a divorce, found the right person and then got married. She kind of cherry picks who she wants to feel for. Great U.S. treasure hunt. Thank you for the yellow boy. By the time Pearl's mom was her age, she was married with 5 kids, and now she lives on a ranch. She's insanely jealous of her mom and cannot measure up to her in her mind. Oh, this is a very good point. Wow.
Do we know why she stopped her volleyball career? Does anyone know like why she decided that that wasn't what she wanted to do anymore and automatically come into this red pill arena?
I don't know. I heard that that's why she moved to London to try to be like
Mhm.
a volleyball player, but apparently she's moving back to the United States.
I just wonder because I would assume she was successful enough to move to London and be part of this team. You would think that, I don't know, I'm just trying to put myself in her shoes. And I would, if I'm trying to get the affection and respect and love and all that from my mother, and I'm already good at this and I'm trying to pursue that, I'm just curious. I don't know why she quit,
Yeah.
but you would think that she would continue on that path if that was one of her goals, was to be in her good graces.
That is a good question. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. I'm going to finish this and then we'll put the other
And
video.
I can tell in how, if the woman respects the husband, I can tell in the way she talks about him, the way she treats him.
Who is she talking about? Like, if she's literally talking about me and Frank still, you can't tell shit from tweets. You know what I mean? You don't know either of us. You haven't met either of us. You don't know us at all. So you can't pretend to know us.
It's super obvious to everyone involved except the two. And it's pretty embarrassing because you get conservative commentators saying, well, my wife turned me down for a date. That's one. Or I have to ask my
Who
wife
said
before
that?
making major decisions. And you just see all these whipped ass husbands that will die on the hill of their wife ruling over them. And I want to go back to I have to keep going back to the boss example.
Her mom, right? Yeah.
Because when you look at a boss, you would never question his decisions. You would never go every day to work and criticize your boss. No, you would be let go. But women give more respect to their boss than they do their husbands. So tonight we're going to talk about buzzer beater babies and how you can tell the difference between a chick that had a kid with a guy that she loves and really wants to be with, and a buzzer beater baby child who just wants a sperm donor. Don't put your personal relationship.
How would she know? How would she possibly know why anyone has kids?
As a model, if you don't.
She like has no clue what to say. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to play her other. It's interesting when you listen to Pearl and what she wants for society. It's for women. Tell me what this sounds like to you. Women not to vote, women not to like what talk back to their husbands, not to have equal footing, right? Not to be an equal, like be subservient. What else? Like don't vote, don't pursue higher education, don't be a boss, don't have a job. It really sounds like what she wants is Sharia law. And I know that sounds maybe like an exaggeration, but who knows? Maybe she's being paid by big Sharia law to push this. And like she kind of sounds a little like her talking points sound a little bit like Sneeko sometimes. Some of these other guys who have started leaning more towards Islam recently.
Very true. I think she's studied a lot of that and it's just wash, rinse, repeat. She thinks that she can just do this under a female face and brand, but I agree.
What is Sharia law? Let's read. Oh my God. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Pearl really wants Sharia law. Okay. Theft. Okay, these are all about Allah and Muhammad. Boring. A non-Muslim man who marries a Muslim woman is punishable by death. Homosexuality is punishable by death. She probably would be in favor for female circumcision.
It says that sodomizing boys is fine. You skipped that part. Homosexuality is punishable by death.
Oh my God! Right. Didn't she just tweet out today like who's gonna have sex with these young boys if they can't watch porn? She tweeted that out like today.
I didn't
Let's
see that.
see. Let's see. I think
Her
she
comment,
did
while you're
individual
looking
tweet.
for that, her comment about not making like big life decisions together is just mind blowing to me. Does she not understand what the union of marriage is, or what the union, even of a couple, a serious couple is? You know, you become one and you make these decisions together for long term life together. It's not like it's something where we're having to ask
Yeah.
permission. It's a matter of respect for your other part, you know, the partner you're
Yeah,
with.
look at this. If women do not want to have sex with young men, gross. What are the men supposed to do? Be absent until the 30-year-old woman decides they're ready to have sex with them? I think it's just, I hope this was maybe a typo. For her to say women should want to have sex with young men is very concerning. Like, yikes. Let's go back to Sharia law. Sodomizing boys. And she also had that tweet that a 16-year-old girl is hotter than a 26-year-old girl. Yuck, this is all gross. A woman or a girl who alleges rape without producing 4 male witnesses is guilty of adultery. A woman or a girl found guilty of adultery is punishable by death. Yeah, she's probably somebody who would say, "Oh, you can't rape your spouse." Men are allowed to beat their wives. Men can have 4. Yeah, this is Sharia law, basically. She always talks about how women have to be okay with men cheating or being one of several girlfriends or wives. Here we go. A woman can have one husband, and each husband can have up to 4 wives. She talks about that all the time. You should be okay. If he's a high value man, you should be okay with not being the only one. A man can unilaterally divorce his wife. A wife needs her husband consent to divorce. This is why she gets hung up on, the majority of the women initiate divorce. She pulls that stat out of her ass. A divorced wife loses custody of her children over 6 years old, or when they exceed it. Yeah, she's all about men having sole custody of the children. This is Sharia law. She doesn't want women to keep their own children, because she always says, like, women are worse parents than men. A woman cannot speak alone to a man who is not their husband. Yuck. No, Pearl, we're not going to bring in Sharia law. All right, let's go to. Oh, hi, James Chart. I do not think Pearl knows what she does not have. I do not think there is anyone in her circle who is married and happy. I doubt it. Yeah. Um, let's see. What did Fealty put in the private chat? I don't know what this is. Okay, I'm gonna just go to my other video that we were gonna watch. This is from Pearl earlier today. She did a whole stream about a mishmash of topics, but I think she started talking about Frank and I towards the middle here, when she brought up these Tim Pool coverage.
Respectful. But unfortunately for us women, we've been lied to by tradcon bitches. We've been lied to by feminists. And for people that actually want to navigate this stuff and figure out how to have happy, healthy relationships, all these bitches that are losers try to cloud it. And they
What does
try
that even
to
mean?
not let you see what's going on. So
Again, she's reading off of a script here.
I try to put it in perspective. I think of a boss-employee relationship. And your boss
She's
is
making the same point.
Okay, so I want to start. Let me pull this up. Tim Pool. I think I recently just saw during this stream that
Pearl was just on Tim's channel. She was doing that. And that's, I think, what this kind of all comes back to, is that panel she did with Lauren Chen, Isabella Riley, and Rachel Wilson. I think that was the whole, are you happier being a tradcon? And I think she's kind of lumping me and Frank in with those girls for some reason.
That he asked me if I say any behavior. I forgot what he said. I couldn't see it because I was streaming, but it said, is any commentary on women simping? No.
Right, because Pearl basically called Tim Pool a simp.
But bending the truth for women is simping. Putting women on a pedestal is simping. Using female shaming tactics, I mean, that's simping. That's because we attack women or we say
Female shaming tactics. Oh, like you, Pearl, saying, "Oh, nobody wants what you have. Nobody. Your wife is 40 and did God knows what for 15 years." She's
Well,
such
she has to apply her own logic to what she does. Her audience are mainly men, incels and men that maybe have had a bad experience or can't figure out love and life. That's who she's pandering to. So the logic has to apply to her too. Does that not make her a simp in her own words, just for the opposite sex?
yeah. Like she's simping for men who don't want to get back out there.
Yeah.
words women don't like, that's simping. So here we go. Let me pull this. Are you got it up? Okay.
Friday morning, the Culture War podcast.
I want to give my side of this. All right. I want to give my side.
And Pearl Davis. And the debate was fantastic. I thought it was rather fantastic, actually. We also had Isabella Moody and Rachel Wilson, and there was a great conversation.
This is like a show within a show within a show.
Lauren Chen and Pearl Davis. And these have continued on X with some big cultural questions for conservatives that I think deserve exploration. And while I certainly opined quite a bit on that Culture War episode, as I do, there's a lot of conversations that I just mostly stayed out of. Let them have their debate, and only asked a few questions where I thought clarification was necessary.
I like when Tim kind of sounds like
has ignited.
Like it almost sounds like he has like Obama's cadence. You know what I mean? Like listen to him and then think about how Obama speaks.
Debate
All right.
over conservative women telling other men how to live their lives, how to lead their households. In one tweet, she says, "Why do so many conservative women think it's their place to tell their husband when he is and is not following God? Blows my mind. Conservative women are so out of order." And this expands upon.
This should say, you're right, Pearl. I, as a man, would never tell another man how to run his household. That would be a level of disrespect that I would not do, right?
That's not even an equal comparison. She's saying,
who's doing that?
She's saying like women shouldn't tell men when they're not following God. And she's like, well, Tim, you wouldn't tell another man how to run their household. It's not an equal comparison there.
Okay, yeah, because I was trying to connect the two. I thought she was trying to say that women were telling their husbands. I don't know.
She's saying it's a woman's place to tell their husband when they're not following God, when really it is both partners' place to say when the other one is not following God, because in your marriage vows, it is both of your jobs to get the other one into heaven. Oh, yeah. Yes, I don't want to have another Tim Pool sex dream. That's right. It was just the one. Cat Canada, thank you for the super chat, darling. Pearl comes with 9 acres of land, won't leave a future man if he cheats, says she doesn't need a proposal or marriage, still single. That's true. She has said that she would be happy just being someone's longtime girlfriend, which to me like reeks of low self-esteem. And yeah. I used to be there. I get it. I used to think I was not worthy of marriage. But you get over it. You work on yourself, and hopefully Pearl can do that one day. Kate McKnight, thank you for the super chat. I wonder what Pearl thinks about Queen Esther, who defied custom to publicly stand up to her husband because Esther chose serving God and her people over her husband and his rules. Esther is praised even today for this. Ooh. She would probably say, oh, well, Queen Esther has simps. Oh, my goodness. Okay, back to play.
Right? No.
The other idea that Pearl has been tweeting about, where she says that many of these conservative women are feminists telling other men in other households how to lead their families. There's a lot to break down here, and there's actually a very personal component to this, where Pearl is calling women ugly and old, and women are calling her refrigerator body, and oh man, you gotta love the internet. But I do think, considering this is a big cultural issue right now pertaining to the fertility rate, the whether or not people are at replacement levels, meaning if you are a couple, you have 2 kids, and
Do we
without
know if
getting too much
Pearl
into
wants to
personal
have
detail-
kids? Does anybody know if Pearl has expressed wanting to have kids one day? I don't know.
I have no
Somebody in the
idea.
chat might know. Rod Line, she has no concept of how a loving couple actually works to make a relationship thrive. She definitely was hurt in the past and can't get past it. Yes, that's it. It's very obvious. She doesn't have a lot of self-confidence. She hasn't had very many long-term relationships. She thinks that the only way to have a relationship is to get married at 22. I would say that's a very small percentage of people.
Yeah, and she's 27, so it's like she's not applying any of the things that she's telling other people to do, especially women to do.
Right. What makes her so special that she is above her own requirements?
I don't know.
fully acknowledging that I am 38, unmarried, have no kids. I am currently in a relationship, working on family stuff, and that's none of your business. But I do think it's really funny how
I love it. All these people are doing the same thing. I love it. All these people push marriage. I hate these people. Sorry, go ahead.
You hate these people? Pearl, you flew out and was just on Tim's show. So you either are using him for clout, but you hate him, but you'll do his show anyway. Yikes, that's very insincere. Very dishonest.
Tim's fine, but sometimes I'm like, why do you guys? I just don't like fake. That's what irritates me. I don't like playing pretend, and I don't like fake. I'm saying let's just cut through the bullshit.
I don't like fake as I read off a fucking teleprompter.
And say it how it is.
Begins to erupt over these issues, considering the importance of this, quite literally the survival of humanity. I think we should actually dive into this. Now, the one thing I do need to tell everybody, for our more inexperienced audience members, I mean this with no disrespect.
Oh, this is a good comment. Oh, thanks, Frank. Imagine if the Yankees hired a manager who never played baseball but has watched a lot of games on TV. Yes, that's Pearl. Pearl is telling everybody else what to do, and she has never played the game herself. Why doesn't she give people advice on, I don't know,
volleyball?
How to have a black boyfriend for 7 months who moves in, and she can be an expert on that. LARPing, as if you're Sandra Bullock from The Blind Side. Okay.
There are a lot of people that are commenting that tend to comment on when I'm talking to a guest. This really blows my mind, the media literacy of this era. So, for instance, Pearl Davis says something.
I also just want to point out, I keep ratioing. My comment didn't even see it. Tim Pool's pulling out the "Who hurt you" just like a woman would. I love it when I
love her
people
fake
in their
laugh.
own comment section. It's just hilarious.
Like,
okay, go ahead.
You know, homes without fathers tend to be worse than homes without mothers. And then I will respond with, do you actually think X, Y, and Z, or is it Y? The purpose of a question when I follow up with someone like Pearl is not to not understand. For those that are not familiar with shows like this, it's because many people watching may need a little bit more information to truly understand the point. Follow-up questions, like, and you'll actually hear me say to Pearl, like, hey, what about X, Y, and Z? And then she'll say A, B, and C, and I'll go, I actually agree. Okay, just wondering. People don't seem to understand that questions are not designed.
Get to the drama, Tim.
Liz, I've seen her stuff. I know a lot about her. But let's talk about this issue right now, because I think this one is really important. And then, oh boy, I hope you're ready for some drama, cat fight, girl bickering, or whatever you want to call it. And I do have some personal opinions about Pearl. She's very smart, but I do think
this is so annoying. I was just there like 2 days ago.
She can't handle that, like, Tim is not 100% on her side and agreeing with her for every single point. She's like, I was just there, and now he's being critical of me? How dare he?
Where was this energy on the pod? I did like 8 hours of okay.
And I'm gonna say this right away, and a lot of people have expressed this. She seems hurt.
Yes,
mean this as an
Tim.
emotion.
Ooh, who hurt you? God, these people are so annoying.
Just say your mom
Can we
hurt you.
stick to the topic? Can we stick to? Can you be a man and talk about the topic without doing this?
Okay, this is what she does. If you disagree with her, you're not a man. You're a simp. You're less than a man. It's a very sad, very predictable couple of insults that she goes to.
This chick stuff. What are you, a woman? Like, Jesus Christ.
Where are you? If you disagree with me, you're a
I
woman.
think Pearl Davis is jaded. I think that she's got a chip on her shoulder of sorts. And when you say something about when you say something like that about someone, they usually take it as an insult.
She did not deny that she is hurt. She could have been like, haha, I'm fine. Instead, she was like, what are you, a woman? What are you, observing me like a woman?
It's a dig at somebody. I don't know how else to say it. I think Pearl Davis is a...
I just don't. All right, Tim, can we get to the topic? Can we get freaking A?
Can you get to the topic,
partially
Pearl?
informed by a bias against women that may be rooted in jealousy. I mean that sincerely. I think Pearl Davis is very smart. I think she's right about a lot of the things she's bringing up. I think she's wrong about a lot. She said something like women's jobs tend to be useless. And I
is so triggered by Tim.
I could prove that. I literally have the book. Whatever.
Hyperbolic.
I literally have a
it's
script
not literally true
behind me that I could
and,
read.
She goes on to mention a bunch of jobs that women tend to work.
Okay, can we get to the point?
Doctors prescribe.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's get to the point. Thank you.
Threads.
Thank you. This is what I was
Men work riskier jobs and are more likely to get hurt and thus more likely to initiate lawsuits. And she then said, yes, you're right. Because I do think she is smart. I do think she understands the data and the facts. But let's talk about where we're at currently.
Oh, and what I was talking about, guys, was, what do you call it? Women. I would bet money that the majority.
That's a good point. She's calling him annoying and comparing him to a female when he suggests that she is hurt. So if you make a keen observation about her, or you challenge her in any way, or you say that she's wrong, she'll either call you a simp or she'll call you a woman. That's her best insult.
Majority of sexual harassment lawsuits are women. Anyways, keep going.
Ridiculous Twitter threads. So Pearl Davis tweets, conservative women are feminists. Here's what she says. The Lauren Chen admits she thinks she should be able to tell another man how to talk to his wife in his home. That is out of order. Traditional women use religion to control men. Lauren Chen responded, it is not a feminist stance to believe husbands and fathers should act in a...
Why would a religion control you? If you both believe in it, then it's not controlling. Then she's confusing religion with having, I think, shared values. Because if you value your spouse and you want to stay loyal to them and live up to your marriage vows, those are shared values. I wouldn't say like that's you being controlled by religion.
Yeah, I don't think she understands what a marriage is.
No,
I mean, it's that simple.
No. Yeah.
Christian manner toward their families. What a ridiculous notion.
Okay, so what is this, guys? It is not feminist stance to believe husbands and fathers should act in a Christian manner towards their families. According to who?
God.
It goes back to according to Lauren.
According to the Bible.
These are the tradcon feminists that will tell you how to talk for a lifetime. And I know because she does it to me on X like every single day.
Predictable when you remove God and responsibility.
Oh, boo. Pearl's mean. Whatever.
From your worldview. This is extremely important take. I agree with Lauren Chen more than you could probably agree. This is extremely important. The idea that there would be no social pressure from outside groups on
who should have the final say in a man's household.
That's
outside
not what this is about. This is not about final say.
No, and it's not a man's household. It's their household. There's two people there. I don't understand her logic.
Maybe she thinks that she'll get a guy by saying, no, I demand not to be respected. Like, I demand to be treated like trash. Maybe she's a bit of a masochist.
It sounds like
Maybe
it, honestly.
maybe she's like the most low value type of pick me there is. Like, no, pick me because I demand literally zero respect. You can cheat on me. You don't have to marry me. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to pay attention to me. You don't have to listen to me. Yikes, pick me because I'm literally the lowest of the low.
Why would we want a bunch of outside groups inside your household? That doesn't make any sense.
Other families is how you get the degeneracy we begin to see emerge today. Quite literally, women and men in the community should be telling other people.
Okay, but like again, this goes back to conservatives making up a fantasy world that doesn't exist. There's not a lot of community now. If there is, it's virtual. Okay, so, and this is how you get the Crowder stuff. How did, okay, Tim, how did that conservative community help Crowder?
It's so strange. Like this whole, she tries to tie everything and everyone back to the Steven Crowder situation, which I don't understand. It's like, well, then do a separate video on that. But she's kind of obsessed with the Crowder thing right now. Like, oh, well, all these, maybe she wants to be, I don't know, on his wait list or something.
Mm-hmm.
The Lone Wanderer's Bunker. Thank you so much for the super chat. Pearl's Ben Shapiro vibes creep me out. I feel so sorry for her parents. How the hell did she turn out like this? Her parents are not like this. Ooh. Who knows? You know, when people feel unvalued, unloved, they do weird shit.
When you leave it to the community, it tends to go to women.
Community how to live. Yep. Doesn't mean you have to listen, but it means the social pressure should exist. This means if there is a man who is not going to church, who is not part of your community, and you're a Christian,
what world do you guys live in? It's like they don't look outside. Do you see what? Okay.
He's saying, asking the question, is something wrong? Can we do something to get you to attend church? If there is another person who seems to be,
does he attend church?
Deviating, excuse me.
He doesn't strike me as overly religious.
You do intervene.
I just don't like playing pretend. That's where I get.
If this is I'm gonna make a Pearl drinking game, and it's gonna be like drink every time Pearl says, "I just call it like it is. I'm just living in reality." And then she just says whatever the fuck she wants
Some
to say.
social capacity.
Sorry.
Wives talk to each other. It's what they do. The idea that conservative Christian women, and I got to be honest, take the religion out of it. Neighbors should be asking about their neighbors. Okay, let me put it this way.
I swear to God, if my neighbor started telling my family how to talk in our house, no. I would tell him.
Well, I don't even see my neighbor because my daddy owns 7 acres. So I don't even know who our neighbors are.
F off.
Remove the religion from it.
I would say mind your business. Get out of here.
If there is a guy who is acting poorly in the neighborhood, do you just ignore him? Let's say a guy is flinging dog crap into the street. Okay, you're gonna be like, hey, you can't do this.
Okay. All right, dog crap.
Let's say he's doing something that's kind of annoying, but not really as bad. Like, if flinging dog crap in the street, you're going to be like, we got a health hazard. But let's say he's like leaving things in his front lawn. Yeah, you say, hey, I know it's your lawn. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we were wondering if it would be okay if you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Telling a guy about his lawn isn't the same thing as feeling like
no idea what happened. Like, how did this happen?
It's the part where
I'm saying, God,
Frank.
And they're saying,
I don't know what to tell you.
So why do so many conservative women think it's their place to tell their husband? I hope and pray that you will have that someday. Finding a partner who has your back.
Oopsie, rewind.
Streams about me for the
Pearl. I'm not trying to start a beef, but I do want to give my thoughts and opinions on our motive.
Okay, well, Tim, can you get to the point? That's what I'm so annoyed. It's like, my God, get to the point. Get to the point.
Frank
Okay.
Pellegrino said.
Now I want to give some pretext This tweet he's about to read. His wife has made 11 plus streams about me.
False. Occasionally, Pearl, you do come up on Simcast only because you are a thought leader. You are someone who trends. You say spicy things, and you as a public figure should understand when you say things, people can comment on them. I have not made. Maybe there might be clips about you that my clippers make when you're the topic of conversation that comes up, but like, this is what she does. She conflates me with my friends. So if like, I think Brittany Venti has made a video about her. Other people have made videos about her, but I guess she can't tell the difference between them and me. So she'll just say, oh, Chrissy's made all these videos about me.
For the past year. I actually charitably came on her show for free like 2 years ago.
She charitably came on my show for free. Oh my God. Wow. I think it's so icky to charge for a podcast appearance. That's like very yuck.
This woman has talked shit with her and her friends for 2 years. They've called me ugly. They've insulted, they have been.
They've called me ugly. They've called me ugly. She can't even remember because she's just exaggerating. Yeah, like I'll have people on the show who will take digs at her, which she's a public figure. She should expect that. She takes digs at people's weight, appearance all the time, but it's not okay when people do it to her. So she can dish it out, but she can't take it. Interesting. She's also and again, like I'll have people on Simcast who will go off on her and make fun of her blatantly, like my friend Keanu. That doesn't mean I'm all for free speech. People can come on and say what they want to say. I've actually been like pretty respectful of Pearl and pretty good about not coming after her physical appearance, which is a very easy thing to do. I've really stuck to just critiquing her points. Other people on my shows attack her looks, which is fine. But again, like it's this very leftist mentality of like, you are guilty by association. You are responsible for the things all of your friends say and do. Or she's just too dumb to differentiate, different people, what different people do. This also I've noticed happens to Anna a lot. Anna, that Star Wars girl, people are like, oh, you stream with them. A lot of people think that she's got to answer to everyone she's ever streamed with in the past 10 years. It's a strange behavior.
Nasty to me for 2 years. And what they do is they play victim if I respond in any way.
No, that's exactly what you do.
And I have conversations about helping each other live our best lives with and through God. I hope and pray that you will have that.
She takes jabs at women's looks all the time, but the minute you respond, she's like, I'm a victim. Oh my God, this is horrible.
Someday, finding a partner who has your back and wants to join you in heaven someday.
Okay, now what is this? What is he doing here? We all know that when religious people tell you that they're going to pray for you, they're really just saying to go fuck yourself. We all know.
Not
we all
necessarily.
can read between the lines. So
her hands are gigantic, by the way. Are we sure she's a woman?
Trying to preach his morality. I'm married, you're not. Therefore, I have some moral up on you.
No one is saying that. She's projecting that.
We all know. We can all read between the lines. I'm not stupid. They won't gaslight me. And I'm just being honest, guys. If you're going to say,
I'm just being honest, everybody drink.
My relationship is at the forefront. My relationship is what you should aspire to. I'm going to look at it and ask the question. Your wife is a overweight 40-year-old who chose you after 15 plus years of doing God knows what. Nobody wants what you.
Again, wrong. Been with Frank 10 years. Do at least the bare minimum of research, Pearl, but research is not really her thing.
You have, because if your wife respected you, she wouldn't act the way she does.
What does that mean?
All see it.
How do I act? What do you mean? I wouldn't act the way I do. We can all see it. What are you fucking talking about? You have literally no examples because you're full of it.
Kind of a nice thing to say. Like,
it is a nice thing to say.
Pearl says, your wife is a overweight 40-year-old who chose you after 15 plus years of doing God knows what. No one wants what you have. If you ever leave her good graces, her army of friends will treat you the same way they treat me.
Cue the fake laugh. Drink.
I I am hilarious.
I wish you were.
I am so funny. I don't care what anyone says.
Funny looking. That's about
Wow.
it.
If they, I don't remember if he read my buzzer beater baby comment, but we gotta go.
How did you get so triggered when I literally said I would pray that you find?
Did everybody see that I know what alliteration is? God, I'm hilarious.
I wasn't triggered. I was laughing. I thought this was
You're very
hilarious.
triggered.
Incredible, really. Maybe show a bit of humility for once, and people won't keep making fun of you. Pearl says, not triggered at all, actually. You said, live how my wife and I
Didn't say
live. No
that.
one wants what you have. He actually didn't.
Thanks,
He said,
Tim.
here's what my wife and I do. I hope you find a partner who has your back and wants to join you.
Oh, we all know what you're saying. Get
We
the
all
fuck
know,
out
drink.
of my face.
He didn't say that, if Pearl hooked up with another red pill guy who shared similar, I shouldn't say another, but a red pill kind of guy who was critical of women and they got along.
And mind you, all these women look like trailer park trash. I'm just being honest, you guys.
I'm just being honest.
They look
Drink.
like trailer park. They. Someone in the chat, Leanne wants to give you a makeover. Yeah, so I can look like a 40-year-old has-been. Get the fuck out of my face.
Frank
No,
didn't say
so
that
you
he
can look
wants
like a
them to pray together,
27-year-old has been. At least try to look your age, Pearl.
to live their lives through God. Pearl got real mad real fast.
Yes.
No,
she
my phone
does.
died.
No one wants
Guys,
to
I
live
can't read
either
the chat
Pearl.
anymore. Hold on.
Pearl says,
She fake laughs when she's embarrassed. She does it to bide time.
I do not preach what I have is how people should live. Don't use yourself as an example if I can't comment on it. I see this quite a bit, and Pearl was saying it on the Culture War show, saying, well, I
Yeah,
don't tell you to
it
live
is a
like me.
reaction of a reaction of a reaction.
I don't know that that's actually a defense. Other people are doing things that are wrong and bad, and I'm not giving an example of how they should live anyway.
Do I have? Oh my God, I have. I hate these people. It is like they live, they're too stupid to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying, hey, if you're gonna market your religion and your relationship as what we should aspire to,
Celine, Pearls have never been. Thank you.
let me evaluate.
No
And I'm
one
sorry,
is
a
saying
37-year-old.
no one is saying you should aspire to live like we live. She's reading into that because she's insecure. And I think deep down she knows that this is the way. But she fights it because she's got her issues.
Old lady who looks like trailer park trash isn't really what most men want.
Like,
And I wouldn't have said that
genuinely
had you guys not made 11 plus streams on me. I would have been a little nicer. I don't really give a shit anymore.
No one has made a dedicated stream. Until this, I had not made a dedicated stream about you, Pearl. You would occasionally come up on Simcast for like 5 or 10 minutes if you had like a viral tweet or something, which I would think is what you want. But it is disingenuous to say that I have done 11 dedicated streams on you.
I'm just going to come out and say it. And again, I'm not saying this because I want to start a beef.
He's going to simp. And Tim, this energy, you had 8 hours. It is ridiculous. These people, they're so fake.
Anything intentionally, emotionally triggering to Pearl. But I think it's plainly obvious, man. When you say, you post a tweet.
Oh no, the psychoanalyzing me, just like the freaking women.
Oh, she hates being analyzed. Anytime you creep in on a insecurity of Pearl's, she'll call you a woman. Because she goes, ooh, that'll get you to stop. That'll shame you into stop. Oh, you're getting too close. Oh, you're a woman. You're a simp. Don't analyze me. Ooh, don't put 2 and 2 together, please.
God, can we stick to the topic? Please, God.
She hates women. She hates herself.
Why do so many?
Do these people think they're God? I swear they get a following and they start to think that they're God.
That's projection, Pearl. You literally.
Husband, and a guy just says, "Well, we pray together. I hope you find someone who cares about you."
Yeah. She did psychoanalyze Frank's tweet.
Yeah, his wife made 11 plus streams on me. This bitch. Her and her friends make hit pieces on me all the time.
I have never made a hit piece on you, Pearl. That you're conflating and confusing me with Brittany Venti or maybe other people who have done that. So lazy. Just say Brittany Venti made a hit piece on me and I don't like her. And since Chrissy has streamed with her and was friends with her, well, now I don't like her. Guilty by association.
You're saying, oh, that's all. Get the fuck out of my face. You get the fuck out of my face, you two-faced conservative bitches. Yeah, get out of my.
Who is conservative?
To insult the wife of the man. I'm sorry, there's only one thing I see. Insecurity.
And you're insecure just like a woman. God, it's like
See?
these
He hit the nail on the head, called her insecure. She is insecure. How do we know it's true? Because her next thing out of her mouth was, "Oh, you're a woman."
now this is sipping to the max. This is sipping. You are insecure. You're insecure.
Jealousy. This is not an academic argument. It's not a witty argument. It's not an argument at all. It is pain. It's not even a good dig. Your wife is an overweight 40-year-old who chose you after 15 plus years of doing God knows what. No one wants what you have. That's clearly wrong.
That was hilarious. Okay, I want him to get to blah 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 blah.
Someone will.
I only pulled this up so I could.
She's like, "I'm gonna fast forward the parts where he keeps calling me insecure and jealous because he's right." She does. She sounds like she's about to cry. I feel bad for her. I genuinely do pity her. And she'll say that it's hilarious again, like it's not funny. She's just biding time. I think she feels upset with Tim. James Short, thanks for the super chat. I've tried to watch Pearl's videos. She has no business telling anyone to get to the point. Self-awareness is not one of her virtues. No, it's not, James. Celine again. Pearl's a never been. No. I was even like, let me search YouTube. Let me see what the 11 videos are that she's talking about. Chrissie Mayr Pearl. Let's see what comes up. Couple of like clips, but not dedicated streams. Look at this. She's so wrong. If you search Chrissie Mayr Pearl on YouTube in the search. Okay, there's this one that we're doing right now. That doesn't count. This was a clip from Simpcast. This just happened. This was from Simpcast just a couple days ago, right when this happened. This was our interview a year ago. This is Brittany Venti, a 20-minute clip. This is a bit of a recap on Simcast when she got crushed by Michael Knowles. It's just a topic of conversation, not a dedicated stream about her. This is not. I don't do 25-minute streams. This was a live reaction to the debate that she was on with Lauren Chen and Rachel Wilson and Isabella. This is about Pearl sharing fake nudes of Brittany Venti. It's a 24-minute clip. Again, these are not dedicated Pearl streams. So, and I don't count 11 here. So, not correct. Incorrect, sir. Cat Canada. Everyone should watch Venti's video on Pearl. Oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's very lazy to just combine what Brittany Venti has done and say, oh, that's what Chrissy did. We're two different people.
I could just show. Beta males will always simp for women. Always, always, always.
Nobody wants that. You can be the strongest man in the world, able to lift up a bag of baby puppies and your wife and carry them out of a burning building with two babies strapped to, in carriers on your chest, and you put them all down, and then you flex your glistening, sweaty muscles and say, "I just saved the day." And you
what world do these people live in?
I just live in reality.
Still beg that there's a woman there, and you fear the loneliness. One day you wake up in the hospital and there's no one there around you. Nobody likes it. That's why there are so many guys who don't like divorce, and that's what guys are scared about. So this idea that no one wants what you have.
No. People want to be married. But again, the point is
contradicting
men
herself.
want to be married to women that would have picked them in their prime. And most of these women
she'll say
would not have picked their husbands in their prime.
She'll say
it's very obvious by the way they speak about their husbands, the way they act in public, and the way that they dress.
Seriously?
So
why would she bring this up? She doesn't know how I dress. She doesn't know how I speak in public. She doesn't know how Frank and I act around each other. She also doesn't know how Lauren Chen speaks to her husband, how Lauren Chen and her husband act in public. She has no examples of these things. Yet she'll specifically use us as examples to make her point. It's very strange.
We'll
People
keep
who are-
going.
who are-
I'm going to keep going because I had a hilarious roast.
Aging, who are not married,
Darling, you
are
don't know what a
certainly
roast
thinking
is.
about, heavens help me, what am I going to do? And of course, there's liberal cope. I formed a polycule and we're going to live together forever. Oh,
Oh
please.
my God. Keep going. Blah, 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 blah.
She says blah, blah, blah when
Okay.
someone is making her look bad.
I am too
Friends
funny.
are not going to be friends anymore. I
Okay.
could, because
She
I
says
believe
I got a
that's the-
refrigerator
you are
body.
worthy
That's
of-
pretty funny. But okay, wait. I want to.
don't feel worthy of it, but you
That was
are,
me
everyone
being
is.
nice.
Let's all pray for Pearl tonight.
Okay, now let me. I'm gonna show you this woman who's praying for me.
Okay, thank you for the super chat, Junior. It's crazy that Tim Pool made a video about Pearl. It is crazy. I wonder if he is embarrassed. He is embarrassed about having her on his show after these stupid tweets. Yeah, probably. Who wouldn't be embarrassed? She's pretty embarrassing. Oh, did I turn it off? Oh, drat! I took the video down. I X'd it off. All right, let me find it again. Bing, bing, bing. Hold, please. Hold, please. Okay, I have it. It's back. Okay, thank you. Bear with me. I'm having some internet problems. Okay, chat, tell me if I am lagging. Frank, if you can hear me, tell me if I'm lagging. He's in the next room. Okay. Okay, my whole screen is freezing. Oh boy. All right, let me just stay here.
I am too.
She laughs and says she's funny when she's insecure.
Friends are not going to be friends anymore.
Okay.
I could, because I
She
believe
says I got a
that's the-
refrigerator
you are
body.
worthy
That's
of-
pretty funny. But okay, wait. I want to.
don't feel worthy of it, but you are, everyone is. Let's all pray for Pearl tonight.
Okay, now let me. I'm gonna show you this woman who's praying for me. Okay.
That she finds the love of her life this year, a guy who will love all 7 feet of her chilly refrigerator body and melt her prickly disposition. To which Pearl responds,
That was me being nice.
Ah, this is so funny.
worthy of taking this L, Miss Buzzer Beater Pregnancy. Pray for your kid when his classmates ask if you're his mom or his grandma at graduation, if you make it that long.
What a horrible thing to say. What a disgusting thing to do, to bring an infant into your into this is stupid online drama. I'll admit, like, hopefully this will be like the last stream I do about her, until the next time she talks shit. But how disgusting to bring an infant into this. Really despicable. And also, he's probably going to be homeschooled, so there is going to be no graduation.
Your show looks like a casting call for a woke all-female The Hobbit remake.
This is she should be embarrassed to have written this. This is, again, like, she has producers, she has writers. She should just have somebody write jokes for her.
Well, we certainly solved a lot of problems with those tweets. Now,
I am too funny. Now he's just gonna keep going on about my psychology and blah 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 blah
Just
blah
like a
blah,
woman.
blah blah. Tim, can you make some real content? Jesus Christ.
Tim, can you make some real content? You were just on his channel. Are you not real content, Pearl?
Oh my God, this is crazy. And pray for your kids when his classmates ask if his or her mom looks
More
if your
nervous
mom
laughing.
if her mom or grandma at graduation, if you make it that long. Yeah.
So that's like saying I'm not going to make it 18 years, 18 more years. Yikes. That's pretty ick.
Because these women, they're getting these buzzer beater, it's crazy. Now, all right, you can pull this down. I think I'm done. All I really wanted it for was I was too lazy to get the tweets myself.
At least she admits to being lazy. At least we have that. This might be the end. This might be the end. Oops, my mouse just flipped. Okay. Yeah, talking about Pearl does sort of bum me out because I do feel bad for her. Okay, I can't. Oh, I'm freezing. Hold on, guys. Oh boy. I'm freezing. I'm freezing, guys. Oh. Hold, please. Do, do, do. Okay, hold on. Trying to get back to the StreamYard screen. Okay, I can't get back to the thing. I might have to leave and come back because I cannot see anything here. Hold on. Leaving and coming back. Okay, I'm back. In summation, Pearl is projects all her insecurities onto everybody else. She doesn't do her research. She's too lazy to learn about the people she's using. For an example, if you disagree with her and you're a man, you're a simp or a woman. If you disagree with her and you're a woman, you're a tradcon. And Junior, thank you for the super chat. It's crazy that Tim Pool made a video about Pearl. I wonder if he's embarrassed about having her on his show after her stupid tweets. Probably. Marcus Henry, I think the reason she keeps saying you're conservative is because you're mostly in conservative media. And Frank also alluded to it by commenting on her post about conservative women. Perhaps. I mean, are you conservative because you get married? Is that all it takes these days? Jason Show, rescue the puppies of babies and flex your clit like I'm the hero. That was a great quote. Thanks. Colin Walker, I really liked your episode on Malice's show. Very touching. I hope things are as well as they could be. Thank you, Colin. Yeah, if there are any updates on that, I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, no. Sadly, there are not. Raider, my God, very generous. And what a very specific amount of money. You get a pink boy sound. Thank you, Raider, for the 53.26. Appreciate you, buddy. I don't know. Okay. I feel bad for Pearl. Ultimately, I still will pray for her. I hope she can find, and again, I think once she finds a good man and a good partner, a lot of her bitchiness will melt away. She'll stop shitting on other women. Hopefully her content will do a bit of a turn. I hope so for her. I hope that when she meets a good guy, she doesn't feel like she's painted herself into a corner and branded herself so strongly to be like anti-relationship, anti-marriage, anti-having kids, that she can't pursue what's best for her or have a good life, find happiness. I will still everyone pray for Pearl tonight. I will still pray for her. So Adam, do you have okay, never mind. No, guys, I don't think I'm conservative. I've done stand-up comedy for like 13, 14 years. Maybe am I conservative just because I got married? Is that all it takes these days? Who knows? Anyway, we're about to go to Keanu Cast. We're going to raid Keanu's stream. Tell Keanu that Pearl sent us. Okay, that's funny. Tell Keanu Pearl sent us. It's clam time. We were sent by Clam. All right. Thank you all for watching. What else is coming up? Working on a few different interviews this week, so stay tuned. Love you all, and adios. Bye.